2 and 3.
Pages
2 and 3
yes.
are the revenue generated and bill remittances from 2014 to 2019 as requested.
Pages 2 and 3. What I can see here, year 2014, inflow. Read it to us like that.
Down is not given, but what we generated that year was 3,383,090,000.
2014?
Okay, sorry, 2014 is 2,835,762,551 naira 67 kobo. And we are expected to remit 25% of that, which is 708,940,637 naira 92 kobo. But the total remittances for that year was 207 million. No, the total figure. The 118 just is a breakdown. There are various sums that were remitted. Remittances for that year was 207,726,184 naira 1 kobo. In 2015, the agency generated 3 billion.
Finish 2014.
I'm done with 2014.
2014.
Yes.
You said total inflow was 2.8 billion.
Yeah.
Remittance 708.9. Actual remitted 207.7. Is that correct?
Yes.
What's the difference?
The difference is 500 million.
Give us the actual difference. Don't guess. We'll have your figures so that we record appropriately.
$501.
The all remitted sum for 2014. 501.
214.
Yes.
453.91.
That's the amount you owe CRF, isn't it?
Yes, Chairman.
In 2014. We are now in 2020. How many years down the line?
Almost 6 years.
Okay, look, before we even go further, what are your sources of revenue? Plus, use your mic always, please. Your sources of revenue.
Our main source of revenue is the 15 kobo per liter on petroleum or refined petroleum products. 15
kobo
per liter.
Sold by every petrol station.
It is not sales now because the computation is based on discharge products.
What by discharge?
What comes in and what is produced locally.
Now explain to see, you are before Nigeria. Yeah. Explain to us 15 kobo per liter of
imported petroleum products and locally refined petroleum products.
Is it not the one you give to filling stations?
Yes, that's good.
So, at the end of the day, it's sold. So, for every imported PMS or AG or anything, and locally refined, is sold or used by Nigerians.
Used by Nigerians.
So, you collect 15 kobo on every liter.
Yes.
And you agree with me that no one has been given free. You don't give free petrol.
We don't.
Huh?
We don't give.
Just little as 2.8 billion as income, considering the volume of consumption in this country. So what is the volume? This 2.8 represents how much volume?
We don't
have the volume. So they have just given us figures in abstract. We are also very intelligent people.
It's because we are asking questions. Let them give us how they come around to arrive at this.
That is what they just asked. What is the volume of petrol?
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman has asked one. I would have thought when you are coming here, you will give the budgeted amount that was expected from you. Because that way we'll work it back to know the volume that was imported into the country. But you just gave what you have received. This 2.8 billion is what you have received, right? The inflow. So maybe the chairman, before you go, will be asked to bring the budget, because the budget will be worked back for us to know how much the volume we are expecting. You know, budget is expectation, isn't it? So we'll get the budget, then from there we'll get this inflow. Now, I'm not even agreeing to this amount of 501 you are saying, because if you have 3 items that have remarks in the remarks column, Honorable Guy just asked a question for clarification. I would, if I'm doing mathematics very well, from this 501 that you said is the shortfall, it's more than this, because 8,000 is sales of whatever fixed asset book, plus the 100 for the 10 million. It's not part of the 15 kobo that you are talking about. Yeah? Plus the 15,000 naira. So you will have to take these ones out from this 501 million. So which means that your shortfall as far as the 15 naira is concerned, you understand, is more than this 501.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Just your mind. The Director of Finance, I asked a very simple question. What are the sources of income? So you have only given me one source, which is the 15 naira per liter. What are the other sources?
The other sources are sales of government disposal of government assets, contractors registration, which we have stopped collecting, and that's all. And then, we equally have the office rental space. Office rental space, those are the 3.
This one that is stopped collecting, when did you stop collecting it? Was it in 2014? Because remember, we are doing 2014.
Disposal of assets.
Out of 2014, you stopped collecting, or you stopped collecting in 2015, 16, or 17? You have to tell us when you stopped collecting. Because we are working back 5 years back.
Yeah, I can't say precisely on that. I am on oath, so I cannot say precisely when we stopped.
Have you finished? Have you landed? That's about 3 or 4 sources, right? 15 naira per liter, 15 kobo per liter, the what do you call it? Sales of serviceable items, contractor registration. So that's about 4 items, 4 sources.
Yes.
For your major source of income is the 15 kobo per liter. Yeah. As a financial person, I want you to, before we make our statement, look at this figure, 2.835 billion, and tell us, use your calculator, and tell us how many liters, assuming all these funds are from petroleum products, excluding, even inclusive, whatever it is. How many liters is that? By 15 kobo. Use your, okay, you work. If you need a calculator, we can give you one.
The figure is 18 billion.
Excuse me, please. What's the figure?
18 billion.
18
billion.
Billion.
Yes.
Liters.
905 083 678. I'm rounding it off.
Okay, sir. Thank you. What's our consumption what was our consumption per day in 2014?
The consumption per day was debatable, but at least by now we are the ministry.
Not by now. In 2014, what was the total volume of imports and total volume of locally produced petroleum products?
I don't have the local production because I'm not in the operations. It is the operations that can give us those figures. But for the consumption, the average consumption per day, we in PPPRA, I think in 2014, we are using 35 to 40 million liters per day.
35 to 40 million.
Yes.
So if I take 1 month, if I take the lower case, 35 million. Let's get the volume because the figure is given us is not correct. Something is wrong with the figures. Either your revenue or the product output.
Yes, Chairman, that is what let me explain that.
Yes.
These figures just represent what the agency was able to collect that year.
Okay.
So it may not match with the total imports and total production for that year.
Okay, so but the agency should also have a record of what they ought to have collected that day, but what they were able to collect. They can compare the two, isn't it?
If we go back to the volume imported, yes, we can.
Okay, so Aaron colleagues, before we make a demand on them, is there any questions?
Very, very clear. You take 15 kobo per liter. Am I right or wrong? 15 kobo per liter. At what stage do you normally remit this money to the treasury? That is one. Number two, what is the percentage of that 15 kobo that you are supposed to remit? 25%? 75%?
25.
Yes, you understand? So based on that, we will be able to move forward. Because you need to state it categorically at what stage. Because here, based on the submission, I have seen a lot of remittances made for 2014, but the money was sent in 2017, 2016, and so on. So there is no way you will be able to give actual figure that you are able to generate for that particular 2014. So you have to make it very clear for us to understand.
Let me just say here, the importation or the production, whatever volume that is imported or produced, payments do not come in as at when due.
From who?
The marketers and NNPC. We don't receive those monies as at when due. That is why it is difficult to match what is expected inflow and then matching it with the volume budget. Now, for the remittances, we do the remittances quarterly.
You said you don't collect the money, the spot, for independent marketers or for the major marketers?
Or both.
Both?
Yes.
You are saying both?
Yes, both the major and independent.
Why? But we had a meeting with you and your ears. You said this IPMAN, the independent market, a motion that was brought in respect of this variance, that these people were paying 133 naira 48 kobo because they pay when they are to take the product. Yes. You confirm that to us, that they pay that money before they take. But for major marketers, because they are credit worthy, they pay after taking the product. We argue this, and now you are telling us that they don't pay. Both.
This is what you are saying and what I'm saying.
What is the difference?
Person, what happens at...
No, I'm coming. If you are saying everything we are asking you, said you are not, who is going to give us these answers? Because we need answers. Otherwise, we will just...
I just took 2014 as an example for us to see what the issues are. 2014, and you yourself confirmed that the agency owes the CRF account 501 million naira, correct? So, and I wanted us to know what is the volume of production, what is the rate, what are the sources of income, so that before we go to 2015, 2016, down the line, you know, and we are not getting, I don't know if my colleagues are getting better education than me, but I seem not to get your details very clear. My question is, your income was 2.8 billion in 2014, and the sources of income mainly are your 15 kobo per liter, all right? And I wanted to know what's the volume of consumption, what's our volume, or what was the volume of consumption in 2014? And you told us between 35 to 40 million liters per day. So if you compute those figures, you see that this your income, something is wrong, either on the consumption or on the income. That was where that's where I got stopped. So if I leave 2014 and I go to 2015 and go to 2016, I'm sure we might likely have the same issue. Yes, Honorable, yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. At what point is this 15 kobo per liter paid to the agency? At what point? Because I'm aware that, like the chairman said, that independent marketers pay before taking their product with the NNPC or with the whoever they are selling the product to them. But at what point is the agency collect this 15 kobo per liter? Then I want to know that, do you collect this 15 kobo on all the products, the 3 products, the 4 products, whatever available? Do you collect this 15 kobo in all the products, or is there's a specific product you collect this 15 kobo on? The 4 products available. At what point do you collect this money?
What you are saying now is different from what the quoted years are saying during the reconciliation period. Now, because it is only NNPC that is doing importation, for any marketer to lift any product, that 130 naira, that is for fee at the, that is the fee they pay to NNPC before they lift any product. It's different from we in PPPRA. Before this time, the PPPRA used to issue sovereign debt statement. And we don't release those sovereign debt statements to a marketer unless the marketer pays that 15 kobo per liter. That is depending on the volume imported. So when the marketers were doing importation, the moment the products are discharged at the various facilities, the witnessing of the PPPRA staff at those facilities, we have the volume, and it is based on the volume discharge that we collect the 15 kobo per liter. It is different from the 130 naira Honorable is talking about.
I know the difference.
Look at the figures here, and it will appear to me that from what I have here, certain things have been taken from the point of view of assumptions. Are you able to confirm to this House that these figures, if eventually you get those things that have been asked of you, are correct with mathematical accuracy, or they are based on estimates and assumptions? Did you get the question? Are these estimates and assumptions, or they are based on actual?
As far as our figures, actual collections, not based on what it should be. As we speak, NNPC is still owing the agency.
How much?
As we speak.
How much?
It is the operation people that can give us that, because operation took over. No.
Financials. Are you not the financial director?
I am.
How long have you been there?
The advice.
How long have you been there?
All along, I've been there.
How long?
From 2005.
2005. As finance director?
No.
As what? Tell us your positions from 2005.
In 2005, I was assistant manager.
In charge of?
Accounts.
One.
And then I was promoted to assistant general manager.
What year?
2009. No. 2009. 2009.
In accounts too?
In accounts.
Okay.
But accounts and admin was one department.
Okay.
And we had a general manager.
Okay.
And then we...
From 2009, you are promoted to what? Director?
Yes.
Also in the same department?
In the same department.
So we can say that you should be an expert in giving us information?
Yes.
All right, but you are hiding information from us.
No. That is what I want to explain to you.
You are deflecting.
No, listen, I just want you to understand me.
Yes, please.
Operations issues the advice to NNPC for the payment of the admin charge.
And they give you copies. Do they copy you the advice for payment advice?
That is why I don't have them up to date. That is why I say I cannot give you. No, I don't have them up to date.
Excuse me. When you, as the head of from operations, as to how much you are expecting, or how much has been sold, or I mean, how much bill has been issued out, do you have it?
They don't.
You don't work together?
We do. I have not requested.
Use your mic, my sister. Please switch off your mic, sir.
Work.
Okay.
If at any point you're privy to the information and other times you're not, what's the standard practice? Because there must be a standard practice. And how do you know when they actually write the letter? So let us know your practice.
For other marketers, that is other marketers beside NNPC, account is copied. But for NNPC, we are not copied.
Why is that? Why is that? That you're not copied when it's NNPC?
Why is not for me to answer? I'm not one that issued this.
Oh, okay. So for independent marketers, you're copied. For the other ones, you're not copied. And you've never wondered why. So how do you actually know that they're actually written, that there's any communication between them? How do you know? Or you just assume that there was communication? Because the way you're speaking, you know for a fact that they are written, right? So how do you know?
There is a staff of operation who has the documents. So when he's going, he goes to NNPC with a staff from finance because of the experience in the reconciliation.
Wouldn't you have a base that you're working from before you can reconcile that? I mean, what's
The figures.
Are you guys, there's no synergy between you guys and the operations?
To a limit. We work together when it comes to reconciliation. That is what I'm saying. When we do the reconciliation, we do the reconciliation together with them.
Okay, is it
possible, since according to him, they're not copied, is it possible for you to have copies of those? That's communication. Is it possible for you to get
Can
copies?
you close that door, please?
Huh? And which agency are you from? Exactly. That's what I'm saying. If you're saying, Mr. Chairman, if he's saying they're not, and then at the same time, the agency, that was why I said to him, which agency is he talking about? And the agency has copies, which means you guys are copied and you have copies.
Not facts. Either way, it's either you're hiding facts or you're not competent. And we will recommend appropriately on when we finish with you. Because we are not getting facts from you. You are sitting on Nigerians' money. We are here because Nigeria is unable to fund its budgets. Capital budget 30%, 20%. But here, you are funding every aspect of your expenses. And we're asking you questions, you are hiding facts. And you know your oath, we will recommend appropriate discipline. You have stayed too long there. That is why you are doing this. But you